Coach, congrats. You wrap up the regular season 4-0 over Ridgeview, but I want to go back before we talk about tonight and then next week's playoffs. Obviously, just an incredibly big game for many reasons against Irmo this past Tuesday. Probably the most anticipated high school soccer game in a long time, that certainly in the regular season. And we all know that you kind of established your legend over at Irmo. Talk a little bit about not only how great it was for your kids to win, but what it was like, getting such a big win that keeps you undefeated in the region and keeping the momentum going against the team you used to coach, or the school you used to coach.
And it's a great question. It was a emotional atmosphere, and not really, I coached 14 of the players on that team as sophomores when they won the state a couple years ago, and of course I followed those guys and still have a lot of black and gold probably running through my blood after 33 years. But it was all about River Bluff having a chance to be region champions and host as long as we're in the playoffs. If Irmo wins that game, they're region champions. We win that game, we're region champions. So it had a playoff-like atmosphere about it. Two very prideful programs, and it was a great game. Down 1-0 at halftime, really challenged the boys to pick up the pace. Just like they always do, they found a way, and it was as emotional a game just because how badly this program and this community wanted that region championship, and not really just because it was Irmo, but they were, I think, and are one of the best teams in the state. And I think we've proven over the last couple of weeks with the Wando and Irmo wins that we can compete with anybody if we do things the right way. So very proud of this group. The region championship was important. Senior night shutout was huge, and just couldn't be happier for this program and these families. Obviously
you have a lot of talent on the team, but aside from the obvious, what separates this team, or what makes this group special, I'll say?
It really is interesting, because when you think about it, 2 years ago, I didn't know anything about any of these guys. I didn't even know who they were going to be, and we came together as a family, and we call it the River Bluff Soccer family, and it truly is in every sense of the word. If you could have been at our senior night dinner last night and see the atmosphere and how much they care about each other and how much the parents do for these players and the players do for each other, that I truly believe it's that sense of family, that loyalty, that willingness to go the extra mile for each other. It's brought a group together in a very short time in a very special way, and it's really fun to be a part of.
As you mentioned, you come over here and you weren't familiar with the kids. You really kind of didn't know what you were walking into, not in a bad way, but you just didn't. And here you are 2 years later, and you still have not lost a region game. The kids are 22-0. Have they, with no disrespect to or not saying anything about your preconception, but have they surprised you in these 2 years?
Oh, it's been a pleasant surprise, because for people say that it's got to be great coaching, it's got to be this about the coaches, but in soccer it's really a player sport, and I think we as coaches do our job at practice, but when you get to a game, we're nothing more than glorified cheerleaders in a lot of ways. Can't call a timeout. You can make some subs. You got 10 minutes at halftime. But if we haven't done our job before the game starts, we're in trouble. And these players have bought in. We have great leadership, as you saw in our captains and others that you didn't interview. We have great leadership, and the foundation is being built so well for this program. I think for the future that these guys will have a lot to be proud of years from now when they say we helped build that.
You've been in this game such a long time, and of course, as in all sports, everything has become more national.
Sure.
Seeing yourselves ranked, no matter who's doing it, still you've got one poll that has you as number 7 in the nation, the other one number 12 in the nation. Not that it matters, but do you take a lot of pride in that?
I hope that the fans do. We as coaches and players, that I tell people all the time, the only poll that matters is the last one. And so I think for the fans, the community, the student body, and things like that, I hope they take a lot of pride in it and say, we are this. For me personally, I don't pay any attention to it, didn't know it until you told me. So honestly, I'm just so focused on the playoffs, the next game, the next practice. If they're ranked #1 in the state at the end of the season and nationally highly ranked, then I'll take a little note of it. But right now, I'm just ready for the third season to start. We had the preseason, the regular season, and now it's time to have some fun in the postseason.
Well, we look forward to following you as this gets started, and of course, you will be right here on this field all the way through. And I don't think that we even need to talk about what a great advantage it is to play here in this incredible facility. Coach Savitz, always a pleasure. Good luck beginning in the playoffs, and I can guarantee you, if you make it to the finals, and we'll be here for that too.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you being here tonight.
All right.